Good morning and welcome to episode 2 of Quarter Life Crisis Club. It's me, Mikenna, your favorite 25-year-old, having a mental breakdown. We have just poured up a big cup of iced coffee and oat milk. And we're ready to get this day started. Coming to you in something comfy and cozy, featuring a sleeping, licking dog right behind me. Today we're going to talk about perfectionism and the dangers of perfectionism. I am somebody who falls victim to perfectionism and being a perfectionist almost every single day. To me, if I'm going to do something, I want it to be done like to the T. Also, excuse my jaw. Yesterday, I got busted in the chops by a dog at work, and I think my shit's out of alignment. Anyways, I fall victim to perfectionism almost every single day because if I'm going to do something, I want it to be done like to the T, like very, very well done. I want to invest as much time in said thing as possible and make sure it just comes out perfectly. And if that's not possible, or I don't have the tools, time, energy, whatever to do that, I'm just not going to do it. So that saves me the feeling of whatever I did not being good enough. I remember a few months back when I was being really hard on myself while working on school. I read on Instagram, because I follow this like healthcare, doctor, nurse, motivation Instagram, and it said fail equals first attempt at learning. In learning. First attempt in learning. And that really spoke to me, because how are you just expecting yourself to be like a master and perfect at something when you're just trying it for the first time? Like, I'm like, why the fuck am I not knowing every single bone in the body and every single muscle, origin and insertion the first time I crack open my anatomy book? Because practice makes perfect, and you have to learn it. That's why. Like, nobody was born knowing that stuff. Nobody was born knowing what they know now. They put in the work, put in the effort, put in the time, and learned it. That's what learning is. It's an attempt at mastery and you working towards being a master. I've read somewhere that said a doctor never stops learning. Like, once you become the doctor, you continue to do the work and continue to perfect your craft. And that goes with anything. Cooking. I could barely even cook before the beginning of quarantine. Now I'm making HelloFresh almost every single night. Yeah, I know that's not like gourmet cooking, but doing stuff step-by-step ingredients will just allow me to get better and better over time, which is true for anything. Perfectionism is relative, and being perfect is relative. What may be perfect to you and what may be imperfect to you is perfect to somebody else. Like, you may look at yourself and be like, oh, I'm dealing with some breakouts, but you're the one that looks at your face every single day. Chances are somebody else isn't seeing what you see when they look at you. Everybody sees things differently, just as everything is perspective. Art is perspective. Whether this plant is cool or not is perspective. Coffee, do you like it? Do you hate it? Perspective. Everything is different, and why would what is perfect and imperfect not be? There will always be people out there who you admire them for their beauty, their craft, their personality, their sense of humor, whatever. And instead of idolizing them and trying to become them, just be yourself and channel them in daily activities and things that you already do. For example, being like, oh, I really like Wellness with Soph's journal prompts and the way that she makes so many tasty vegan organic snacks at home, and I can try to channel that, implement that into my life rather than trying to become that person. Or being like, oh, I really like my friends' hair, the way they do their makeup, their tattoos, etc., and try to channel that in your life rather than trying to become that person or change yourself to be more like them. just channel them, implement them in your daily life. And as a wise woman once said, nobody's perfect. I've got to work it again and again till I get it right. I could not say that without singing a little bit. But yeah, nobody's perfect. Just gotta take that idea and just throw it away. Nobody's perfect, not you, so why are you trying to be? Everyone has flaws. There are people that are better at certain things than others, or ways that somebody does things that you like, but nobody's perfect. And nobody has it all figured out. I feel like this year, 2020, and the beginning of 2021 has been like some sort of awakening for me. I feel like my entire life I've been lied to and taught things that I don't agree with as an adult, or just taught things in a way that I'm like, what the fuck? That being said, I thought that once you reached a certain age, that was like adulthood. Once you hit 25, you're an adult, everything is suddenly going to magically work itself out and be perfect, and you're just adulting now from here on out. Smooth sailing, baby. But that is not the case at all. I'm 25 currently, as you may know from Quarter Life Crisis Club, and I do not feel like an adult at all. I still feel like I'm just like floating through life, figuring this thing out. And since I feel this way, I think it's absolutely ridiculous that I thought that people older than me or at a certain age even had it figured out. Like parents, grandparents, they're just figuring it out too. And I feel like with that, we should be giving them a little bit of slack and a little bit of grace, because nobody has it figured out no matter what age you are. Release linear timelines and timelines that don't fit your life. There have been timelines created for women, men, young people, old people, that you should hit certain milestones at certain times, certain points in time. And then if you don't, that you're a failure, your whole life is trash. You should just give up now, dig yourself a hole, crawl in it, and stay in there forever. But that's not the case. Like, thinking back on when I was younger, I truly thought that at age 22. That's 3 years ago from now. At age 22, I would be married, have a kid or more, have a house, and have like a professional career that I liked. And I think I thought those things because of the way we're conditioned to believe in linear timelines in this country. And as a young person, a young woman, that if you don't reach certain things by certain ages, you just you're failed. You're a failed woman. But that is so far from the truth. I also thought that you could complete college in 4 years. Yeah, while it's possible, it's not possible for everyone, and that is just not a super realistic common path, even though we are told that it is. Having children and being a mother is like the pinnacle of being a woman, but as somebody that's age 25 and only sees dogs and plants in my foreseeable future, I think that is an idea and a kind of expectation that I put on myself from a young age. And just realize that you must take things as they come and just kind of go with the flow. It's the only way to truly not disrupt your inner peace and your inner happiness. The more you worry, the more shitty you feel, honestly. The more you overthink, the more shitty you feel. So just take things as they come and let go of all preconceived notions and ideas that things, people, you should be a certain way. Journaling has really been helping me a lot lately, and I wrote down a few ways in which I'm going to release the idea of perfectionism. 1, just do it. It sounds so Nike, but yeah, just do the damn thing. Do what you want to do. Stop making excuses and just do it. 2, it will all turn out okay. Something that I need to remember when I sit down to start a project, or when I am just doing anything, I'm constantly worrying, oh, what if it doesn't turn out right? What if this? What if that? I just need to stop. And if that's something that you're doing too, I would suggest just stop. Just stop it. Most importantly, just try. Chances are if you put in effort and just attempt to complete whatever you're working on, or just anything, if you attempt to complete it with your best effort, perfect. That's perfect. It's perfect. It's as close to perfect as you can get. And if you continue to try and continue to put in effort, you will succeed. I read somewhere that said the only true key to success is consistency. And I don't know, when I read that, just punched me right in the face and like stuck in my brain. Because the only people that I know who are truly successful aren't perfect. They just work hard, they put in effort, and they are consistent with what they do. They don't give up when things get hard, and then they come out on top. They conquer, and that is something that I am personally trying to implement and channel into my life. I'm so inspired by seeing people my age on Instagram, YouTube, in the workforce as nurses and healthcare professionals. I'm so inspired by them every single day, and the effort, persistence, and perseverance that they put into like their self and their life. And that just really, really inspires me to do the same. If something is a long process and takes blood, sweat, tears, the whole 9 yards, and the fruit of the labor is a slow burn, I'm immediately like not as interested. I tend to be somebody who wants instant gratification, and that is another idea that I'm trying to release. Good things take time, and things that are worth it take time. Nothing can happen overnight. Nobody is an overnight no overnight success, even though it may appear that way with social media. Don't give up, because the time is still going to pass. And when it does, you will be the thing that you want it to be, or you will have done the thing that you want it to do. The video that you want to make is going to take hours and hours and hours, but at the end of the day, do you want to have a completed video, or do you want the day to still be done and have nothing to show for it? Or doing that workout is gonna take an hour, but at the end of it, you're gonna feel great. Or in the end of that hour, you'll be back on the couch just like you never left. It's all about showing up for yourself, putting in the effort, and showing yourself that, hey, I am worth it. I am worth the time, the energy, the money, etc. to make my dreams come true. Never give up on your dreams. Never give up on what you want just because you're afraid that it won't work out, or that you'll fail, or things will end up differently than you originally planned, because all the best things happen when you have no plan. I am an avid planner. I write in my journal and planner every single day. I love to have my days laid out and to kind of know what I'm going to do all throughout the week. And that is an idea that I'm also attempting to release and just go more with the flow. Like I mentioned earlier, when you let go of all preconceived notions, ideas, plans, etc., and allow things to just flow and things to happen as they do and as they come, that's when you'll really start to see the beauty of things. And you will not receive things that you are not ready for. Your life will not change in ways that you are not ready for. And I have personally realized that firsthand throughout the last year. This last year, 2020, especially, like many others, I was in a very dark place, not really feeling like myself, and you will not receive things that you are not ready for, and your life will not change in ways that you are not ready for. I've really witnessed that and experienced that personally firsthand this last year. 2020 was an extremely dark place for me and many others, I am sure. It was just a fucking train wreck of a year. That really made me realize that so many of my issues and things that I have been dealing with were because of me, and the limitations and the box that I placed around myself, and not wanting to do things or not wanting to complete things unless I could do them so perfectly and so professionally done while being like an amateur at things. I just expected too much of myself and put way too high of expectations on myself, and then really just beat myself up if I didn't meet them or didn't hit them to a certain standard. With that being said, when you shift your mindset and shift the way that you are seeing things and thinking about things and feeling about things, good things will happen, and you will start to receive what you were meant to receive. this last week, I had like the absolute greatest week that I had in a while. I can't remember like so many good things just happening consecutively since like 2019 But this last week, I actually chatted with the lady who owns a dog pound, which I decided to be the dog that I get in the future when I go to start a family and get a dog from Washington State. You know how it's really rainy and 5% light up there, and then it's just perfect lighting for anything that you want to take photos of. So yeah, those two things in addition to my vanity have just reignited my creative spark, and I have been creating content and shooting things like crazy, and it just feels so good to be back in my groove again. But with that being said, 2 days ago I logged onto my Instagram, checked my DM, and Herbivore Botanicals, one of my absolute favorite skincare brands and a fellow Seattle-based company, I'm a Seattle-based human, hit me up and wanted to send me my very first ever PR package of the Baciuchiol alternative to retinol serum. So I'm really excited. Moral of the story, trust yourself, trust the process, and release all ideas of perfectionism and that what you're doing has to be absolutely perfect. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 2 of Quarter Life Crisis Club. Again, my name is Mikenna, and I will catch you next time.